it's Isabel. So today's video is my year in review of 2020. I know, it's 2020. It's a bad year, but I wanted to do a year in review. I did it for 2019 and I liked it, so I wanted to do a year in review for 2020. I wrote down a lot of stuff on my notes, because there's a lot I want to talk about this year. I didn't want to forget anything, so I have it written down all of my notes. If I'm looking at my phone, that is why. Because I was like, well, I have to write this stuff down so I don't forget. First, obviously, like 2020, we can't just blame 2020 for all of our problems. But I think the reason we do that is because in history, we learn things by the year. So I think we're just thinking about, oh, all this stuff is going to be tied to 2020, it's so negative. That it's just like, 2020. It's New Year's Eve. Crazy. So let's get started in my year review of 2020. Obviously, it started out as a normal year. I thought COVID was literally just not gonna get to America. I was like, we're fine. It's fine. Really, in my mind, I was like, oh, it's over there. We're like over here. We're fine. So as a senior in high school, I just wanted to graduate. Like, not just senioritis. I literally just wanted to get out of there because I just wanted to survive high school. Literally, my only goal of life was like, okay, let me just get through high school and survive it. I had a lot of fun classes my senior year that I really loved, but it was still high school. With everything, I just was like, I can get through it. Just get through it, survive it, we're good. And yeah, we had our show, How to Succeed with Business Without Really Trying, which is super fun, and I absolutely loved it. It was like, we were like in our own little bubble, which is, I guess, bad, but like, we were just kind of focused on the show and each other, and we were so lucky to have our show. Like, so many people didn't get their show, and I feel so bad. But we were so lucky that we had our show. The week of our show, we were so focused on it that we really weren't paying attention to what was happening in the outside world. We were just really in our own bubble, only thinking about what was going on with us. It was super fun, and I love and cherish those memories so much. Once our show was over, we had strike and then some chorus stuff, and I absolutely love chorus. But once our show ended and that next week started, it was like we were thrown back into like the real world. And it was like, oh my god, wait, this is happening, this is really bad, like, oh my god, this is scary. That Friday, the Friday the 13th, in school you could literally feel it in the air. We all knew it was gonna happen, like we knew. It was just some weird energy that you could just feel. And I don't know how to really explain that other than that you can literally feel the energy. It was just off, and we all kind of knew that everyone knew it was going to happen. We did not think it was going to be as long as it has been, but, you know, we got the call, we got the announcement, and school was out for 2 weeks. And at first it was like, okay, like 2 weeks, not so bad, whatever. It became longer and longer and longer, and it was just crazy. And I live in a state where it was hit really, really bad. So it's very bad where I live. So being a senior, I did miss out on a lot of stuff like prom and senior week, and we just do a lot of stuff at the end of the year, like a lot of senior stuff that I literally would have to like take an hour to just write down all of the senior stuff that we have that I missed out on. And graduation was not what we wanted or what we deserved, and it was absolutely a mess. It was just, there's nothing else to say, it was a mess. And obviously our slogan was 2020 vision, because obviously our school had to just do that, which has become so ironic. It is just like, who would have seen this coming? And I've been to every graduation since my freshman year, because of choir. So obviously, like, I could tell the difference between their graduations and our graduation. And obviously it was gonna be different, but like, it was an absolute mess. And honestly, the biggest thing for me is I still feel like I'm in high school. Like, I can't escape it. I'm still there. Because I never got to walk around the building one more time and say goodbye. I was just kind of pulled out of there and just like, okay, you're not going back. And then I just never got to like say goodbye, so it still feels like I'm in high school. And it's weird because I'm in college now and I feel like I'm not in college. I feel like I'm not in college, I'm still in high school. And it's because I never got to say goodbye. I think it would have been a lot easier to be like, oh yeah, I'm in college now. But I can't feel that way because I never got a goodbye. I think that was the hardest thing for me. And in a world where we know a shooting could happen at any second, any point, we live in fear. And it's a fear that I lived with, and I know so many other people live with every day. Being in school, it's just so much anxiety just thinking a shooting could happen any day. So obviously, my thing was just survive high school. That was my plan for high school. I kind of just was like, I need to survive it. Graduation and making it to graduation for high school was a really big deal for me, and my only goal really was to just survive it and get to graduation. And honestly, for me, I also feel a type of way because I did have a deal with my parents that if I didn't like freshman year, we would be looking into being homeschooled. Because school in the past for me was really bad and we did not think it was going to get any better. Obviously, I did like freshman year because of drama and choir and stuff. But one of the really big things that helped me decide to stay in public school and in high school was I thought that if I didn't go to school, I would not have a prom or a graduation. Because growing up, I looked at my parents' prom and graduation photos, and I was like, oh, I want that for my kids to look at in the future. It didn't matter anyway, because I didn't get either of those things. I did have junior prom, but honestly not that good. And yeah, I just don't have those photos that I wanted, that I was able to look at for my parents. And honestly, the schools just didn't handle it well when it came to the students at all. And I don't fully blame them because it is a weird, unprecedented time, but it could have been a lot better. They could have, asked the students, what do you want us to do in this time for you? But we were kind of given a lot of false hope because we did not know how long this was going to last or end, and it broke my heart every time we were told something would happen and then it didn't. Whether that was, them just not bringing it up again or being not going to happen, or changing plans constantly. And honestly, it broke my heart and hurt so much. It broke my heart when the graduation became not about the students and about the parents instead, because it was something we all worked towards and we wanted, and it was about the parents instead, and it was just not nice. And I'm not saying the class after us does not have it bad, because they do. And I feel so bad because I know the feeling, and it is absolutely devastating. When this started, we didn't have any idea how long it would last or how bad it would get. We were literally clueless. My school had all the senior stuff towards the end of the year, and thinking about it now, with the vaccine coming out, I'm honestly so glad that they have some hope, that they can get their end of the year, and so they can walk around the school one more time and get their goodbye. And I would honestly rather miss the beginning of my year than the end, and I know it still sucks, and it is absolutely devastating, and I loved the football games. And I know it's so hard to miss them, but I know if the schools really wanted to, they could have pushed it to the spring and when things get better. Or still could. And I absolutely hate that it's become a competition between classes, because we both lost a lot of stuff and missed out, and it is absolutely devastating. And the thing is, it's different. It's different for both of us. For all these classes, it's different, especially for 2020 and 2021. And I know it's devastating, and I really do hope the class does get a chance to say goodbye to their school so they can move on, because honestly, that is the hardest thing. More than just missing out on the stuff, because missing out is awful and is devastating, and I know. But it's the feeling after that's way worse, that not being able to show your future family pictures of monumental moments, and that feeling that you're stuck in high school because you didn't get a goodbye. It's so much worse. And I really do hope that they get a chance to say goodbye. I know so many people have it worse with COVID, and my heart goes out to everyone affected by it, who's lost family and friends, and who are really affected by the disease, but I can only speak from my experience, and what was hard for me this year. Anyway, quarantine was quarantine, and honestly, I don't like leaving my house at all. At all. So it was fine for me. I just didn't care. I was like, okay, I'll stay home and do whatever. I'll wear a mask. I don't care. It doesn't affect me at all. I get to stay home more? Fine. And I have to, be in the mood to leave and, mentally prepare myself when I do leave. I did have my 18th birthday in quarantine. It was a good birthday. It was different than I had pictured it, but it was fine. Anyway, over quarantine, I got to do more of what I wanted and had a lot of self-reflection and had less anxiety and stuff, and it was good. It was really good. It was sad, but it was fine. I became super involved in politics and involved with human rights issues. I knew stuff before, and I've always stood on the side I stand with today. I really took this time to read and educate myself even further. I got super involved with posting things, especially on my Instagram. I debated quite a few people and became really outspoken with it. Which is good, because if we don't talk about these issues, as uncomfortable as it can make us, things won't ever change. And it's important to talk about. We need to be better. And that's just it. So then I started college, and I loved it. I made friends, I had classes I loved, and it helped me improve my craft. It was great, and we were safe. It felt like we were in the COVID time, but also in our little bubble and safe. Until the last few weeks or so, when it started getting worse and worse, and it felt like we were being enclosed, because my campus was all safe, but in the town of Bennington itself, cases kept rising, and it was honestly super scary. And we were all being super safe, got tested every week. We didn't party. It was just like, we're here. We get to like work on our craft. We get to be here. We're just happy with that. And we can wait to party and do other things when this is all over. But when things started getting worse, it literally felt like we were being enclosed. And I was like, oh my god. It was just really bad. And then I came home, and it was fine. It was good. It was just really weird being home. And then we had Christmas, and it didn't feel like Christmas. But it was not just because the year was weird. Like, that obviously has a lot to do with it. But for me, it was just different. Last year didn't feel like Christmas to me. Like, I could accept it was Christmas last year. But this year, I just couldn't do that. And I think partly it is because the year was just the way it was. But also, it could have been just getting older and stuff, or something else. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that it was not just because the year was weird. Something else was there. Now it's New Year's Eve, and the year is ending. It still feels like I need to process March and on. This year felt like it was so long, just for the fact that so much happened. It feels crazy to see everything that happened, because it could, like, literally fill a history book. But also, it feels like this year just started and went by so quickly, because time went by so quickly in quarantine, and I lost all sense of time passing, and time felt like it was standing still but still moving. It was really weird. I started working on my memory issues, and I'm trying to work on my sleeping issues that I suffer from. This year was awful, and was bad, this year, as awful and bad as it was, and it was bad, it was really bad, but I won't miss this year at all. I did learn a lot, and I did grow a lot, mentally and emotionally. I know things aren't going to change right away when that clock strikes at midnight, and I know things aren't just going to be okay and just disappear, and it's going to be a lot of work. But looking into 2021, we can see an end, or just a brighter future. And I cannot wait to get there. We really did not have 2020 vision. Goodbye, 2020. So yeah, that is it for my year review of 2020. It was a 2020, like, there's just no other way to say it. And this year going down in history books is going to be absolutely crazy, and I feel so bad for the people who have to learn about it. It was just a crazy year, and a lot happened. A lot of negative things happened. So many positive things happened. But people were starting to come together, and people did work emotionally on their mental health, and I think that's amazing. And for everyone who worked on their mental health and became better, I'm so proud of you. And for everyone who's still suffering from their mental health, whether if they're in a worse state or just still suffering from it, I relate to you, and I'm here for you, and I support you 100%. And things will get better. I know it doesn't feel like it. I still don't think things will get better. But where else can it go? Like, things have to get better eventually. I guess that's kind of what it feels like. And this year, I think, was filled with a lot of growth for people. A lot of terrible things happened. And I know people who had COVID. Luckily, not so many people I know passed away from it. I know people my parents know did. Nobody I knew, and I know COVID is really bad, and my heart goes out to every single person who's affected by it, who lost somebody from it, because it's absolutely horrific, and we're in a terrible situation. And with the vaccine, hopefully things do get better, and hopefully we can see a brighter future ahead, and that we can work towards in 2021 and going on. I just think we have a little bit of hope now, with the vaccine coming out, that things could get better. And hopefully they do. But yeah, that is it for my year in review of 2020. Goodbye, I won't miss you. Yeah, from 17 to 18, that is it for 2020. I hope you all enjoyed this video, or liked it, or just related to something I said in this video. Because a lot happened, so hopefully someone can relate to something. That's pretty much it. So I hope you all liked this video. I hope you all had a okay 2020. And I hope you all have an even better, hopefully, 2021. And here's to a better future. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!